So, if you're a charity looking to dive into crowdfunding, let me tell you a little bit about our experience of working with homeless charity Rowan Alba in Scotland and how we helped them to raise £750,000 during COVID. So, crowdfunding is a unique and rewarding opportunity for charities, and rewards can even be eligible for gift aid in the UK. But fools rush in where angels fear to tread. You need to have a really great campaign strategy which covers all your bases. Because the ultimate idea for crowdfunding is that you're leveraging your fan base, and your fan base is all on social media. It's all the community that you've already been building up over the years. Am I right? So you're leveraging that community to be able to tap into even bigger communities who want to be able to donate and sponsor campaigns and initiatives that help to change this world. So crowdfunding campaigns can give charities the opportunity to raise money online and normally this crowdfunding campaign doesn't necessarily happen just on the charity's website. It happens on a third-party website, for example, like Indiegogo or one of the other crowdfunding platforms, where you are sitting there as your charity amongst millions of other charities, trying to say to the community, okay, this is why you need to fund us. This is why you need to support us, because here's the impact that we're able to have, and here's how amazing we are at doing our job. So therefore, you are able to galvanize that whole community as well as your community to go in there and donate £5, £10, £50, £50,000, depending on whatever you're trying to achieve. And then the charity shares this information as widely as possible using online and offline marketing techniques to encourage supporters to make financial pledges to the cause. So let me tell you more about what our process was and whether crowdfunding could actually work for your charity. Because ultimately, you cannot go out there into the online world and say, all right, buy my stuff or donate to my charity if nobody's ever heard of you. Nobody trusts you if they don't really buy into what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. So therefore, you need to spend a lot of time, even before you start your campaign, developing a community around your charity that will build that trust before you actually start doing the crowdfunding. So you need to attract those supporters from your fan base, raise money, and spread your message. What we like to say is that hope is never a great marketing strategy. When it comes to crowdfunding, more charities are unsuccessful than successful because they bite off more than they chew. They don't realize all the kind of technical elements to it. And that means ultimately they're going to waste a lot of precious time, resources, skills, and finances in the process. So what we always recommend is we start off with a small amount of crowdfunding to be able to start whetting your appetite as an organization, building your capacity to actually then move on to the big chunky crowdfunding campaigns. So Rowan Alba had the best of times. They raised, as I said, £750,000 during the COVID-19 lockdown, all with some supersized PR, marketing, and social media strategies, which were able to propel amazing results for them. Results that even they were surprised at. Successful crowdfunding is about seeing the big picture. It's not enough to post an appeal and cross your fingers. For Rowan Alba, this meant ensuring the campaign we created was built upon solid brand positioning and a robust supporter journey. So here's an example of our supporter journey that we mapped out in detail across all of the social media platforms, incorporating email, incorporating PR, incorporating video, so that once we actually launched the campaign, there was a very sequenced and process-based initiative going on a consistent day-by-day basis in order to galvanize the crowd. So obviously before launch, we're building up the enthusiasm, we're building the buzz, we're getting everybody excited so that when we actually launch on the specific day, at least 20% of our existing fans are ready to actually start the donation ball rolling. And then during the period of the crowdfunding campaign, it can often be 6 weeks, for example, we're helping everybody to understand that, this is how well the campaign has done so far, or this is how badly it's doing. We need some extra support, and being able to keep on communicating and galvanizing people as quickly as possible. And then finally coming to the closing straight where there's 5 days to go, 3 days to go. We've already smashed our targets. Let's see if we can go even further. And then nurturing all of the community in that whole space, who are not just our existing community that we've brought with us into that platform, but we have now mobilized the much wider crowdfunding community who are ready and willing to support all different kinds of campaigns. And not necessarily because they know that charity, but because they might be interested in a Scottish charity, or they're also interested in women-led charities, or they might be interested in property-based charities, or they might be interested in homeless charities. So everybody's got some kind of element of why they support a particular charity. So your opportunity as a charity is to get onto that platform and leverage all those sweet spots to build relationships with people before you even ask for a donation. And that's a strategy we use even to this day for every single campaign. So our message with Rowan Alba was simple and compelling. Rowan Alba puts roofs over heads, but it's about so much more, because the challenge of homelessness is that if you give a homeless person a house, it's not the end of their problem. Often there's a reason why they lost their house or houses in the past, and therefore they might need a lot of support to deal with things like addiction, abuse, adverse childhood experiences, mental health issues. So therefore, providing a house is just insufficient. And normally homeless charities make a lot of mistakes if that is their only approach. So Rowan Alba were very, very strong in being able to say, no, you can't provide houses to people who are homeless or who are very difficult to house because of their multiple areas of trouble that they experience. So therefore, we have to provide an environment where they can be guaranteed full-time housing occupation. It's not dependent on behavior, because a lot of housing charities, homeless charities, will throw people out if they don't behave appropriately. But unfortunately, you're dealing with people who have all kinds of multiple needs, and therefore throwing them out because of bad behavior just it reinforces their inadequacies and sense of hopelessness. So Rowan Alba's message was so compelling that we were driving that message all the time. We drove this message home, making the plight of homelessness in Scotland known. And in doing so, we tugged on heartstrings and purse strings, raising that 750,000 in just 3 weeks. So they're very much about making sure that there's a full Scottish tenancy. And then those people who are investing in the crowdfunding campaign, it's not just, you hand over the money and that's the end of it. No, you actually become part of the equity of the whole process that happens. So there's actually a return on investment that you can get on this particular crowdfunding. And because it was so successful, obviously, we're going to be doing a lot more of these types of crowdfunding campaigns so that we can build more and more or develop more and more of these homeless opportunities, homeless environments to support people who are hard to house. So when we were doing the whole process, obviously with social media and digital marketing, you cannot hide behind the numbers. The numbers are there. You can see exactly how many people clicked through to the website, how many people donated, what were the demographics, what part of location of the UK or wherever that they were coming from. So, every single month that we get together with the client, or sometimes it's a week if it's a small campaign like this, as in small as in a short campaign, then we will make sure that we're going over the numbers in minute detail so that every single time we're finding new ways of coming up with content that is going to be even better. So we double down on the content and the strategies that are giving us good results, and we eliminate all the stuff that is not working so fantastically. So as a result, we were able to secure an 8% engagement rate. I'm not going to go into any of the details of this right now. This is for a different training opportunity where you'll understand what the importance of the engagement rate is when it comes to social media. We did a lot of Reels. Reels nowadays are the only way to go when it comes to Facebook and Instagram, and obviously TikTok as well. And then the average post impressions were enormous, even without using any ads as well, because of the fact that we had embraced Reels-based videos. And the average story impressions were 1.1 thousand as well. So phenomenal. But we didn't stop there. In addition to a social media strategy, we had to support the appeal with a range of different activities, because although we are a social media agency, it's disingenuous to say that's all we do. If we were just putting up social media and then saying right to the client, we've done our job, see you later, it would be a waste of opportunity. So we help the client to make sure that they understand, and we are delivering and supporting all of the areas that need to happen in order to maximize the returns that they are able to make. So that included PR. We were able to make sure that there was lots of BBC interviews that were happening. There were opportunities for the chief executive to go onto homeless podcasts and discuss the issues. There was lots of opportunities to discuss the issues on third sector guest blogs, where Helen Carlin was able to demonstrate her thought leadership and ram home the message that volunteers can be life-changing and life-saving, and making sure that there's always a very, very strong brand message going through, which comes through not just in the words, but the positioning and the colors and fonts and dynamics of every visual as well. And the word on the street is that the transformation has been remarkable. Helen Carlin said, the chief executive of Rowan Alba, said up until Finn got involved with Rowan Alba, we had a handful of followers. Now we're growing a community of supporters who feel connected to the work we do and want to see us prosper, so we can better help the people we serve. So obviously that was the fantastic results that we were able to achieve. And obviously, because it's very systematic, the process that we deploy, we're able to come back and say, okay, let's try it again. We've got the kind of work manual already in place. We can actually roll this out to any charity, big or small, in order to make sure that they're getting results. So if you're ready to supersize your charity's income, just make sure you get in touch, click the link below, and we can have a quick chat about what you're trying to achieve, and we'll give you some tips and hints and ideas on what you need to be doing in order to get started, and whether we would be interested in helping you to achieve your goals. All right, see you soon.